for coming down. I know we've had all sorts of stuff going on, assembly yesterday, field trips going out, and it kind of breaks up the day. But today's assembly is a little bit, almost like a walk through history in a museum a little bit. This is the first of two assemblies we're doing. Some of the things I mentioned might seem odd because the second assembly, we actually have people coming back who were former principals of the school and staff members. I really wanted, because we can't all fit together, and because you kind of have to be close enough to see stuff, I wanted to make sure our entire school community was involved in this. So we're going to break it up into two assemblies. So also, one of the principals who I'm going to mention in here, Mr. Cost, is now 85, and I didn't think he wanted to sit through two assemblies. So I'm going to read the dedication that I kind of have planned for the second one, and the sealing of the time capsule. How many people knew we even had a time capsule buried? Okay. A couple of people didn't know. Okay. All right, so here are the formal remarks. Thank you to everyone for being here today as we gather to mark a truly meaningful moment in the life of North Middle School. A moment that connects our past, celebrates our present, all of us, and looks ahead to the future with hope and optimism. We're especially honored today to welcome back later on Principal Stanley Cost, which will bring this presentation full circle. In 1976, Principal Cost was the principal of North Middle School. It wasn't here. I believe it was at the Yale. And they buried a time capsule back then. Then they opened it up in the year 2000, which was referred to as the millennium, the turn of the century. And also this morning, we're going to have the class president, Allison Nolan, who was the president of the class, which gives hope to some of you. Maybe they'll call you back, find one of your artifacts, and we'll be local enough to come back. And we're also going to have a then grade 7 student. Some of you might know. How many people know Peter Wiggins? Peter's a walking time capsule. He was a 7th grade student at the time. We have the class president, a representative from the class, Peter Wiggins, who likely will be here to open it up in 2050. And they'll remember all the faces, so he's like a real good video reporter like this picture back there. So we should, maybe you'll get it right back. Now, as it's our turn. It's our turn in this whole journey in the town of Wharton. As current students and staff of North Middle School, we're going to add our chapter to this story, and we're going to seal the third official time capsule that reflects our present moment in time and carries our dream forward to a new generation to discover in the year 2050. Inside are pieces of who we are in 2025. All of you will change so much in 25 years. To those in 2050 who will one day open this capsule, we hope you find laughter in our strange trends and hairdos and so on, curiosity in our technology, and inspiration in our words. We hope that you see, even in a world changing rapidly around all of us, that we stay rooted in kindness. We always do that, stay rooted in kindness, courage, and a pursuit of knowledge, which is why we're all here. We dedicate this time capsule not only to history, but to the future. To every student who will walk these hallways behind you, to every teacher who will inspire a young mind into this building, perhaps some of you will become teachers. Miss Oliver was a student at the time too, and now she's a teacher here. And fill this entire school with a sense of belonging and community. To our students today, to you guys, your dreams matter, your actions matter. We talk about it all the time. You're building the foundation. Others will stand on tomorrow. Keep chasing your passions, believing in your dreams, and the power of your own story. And then we hope the class of 2050 will look back and have pride with what we did and look forward with purpose. All right, so now we'll go through some of the artifacts and what it was like to put the time capsule up. So the first, how we discovered the time capsule. A lot of times people think like there's a map and there's buried treasure. Well, during COVID, remember back to when you guys were very young, remember COVID? During COVID, the schools were closed, and we had some time on our hands, to say the least. And I said to Mrs. Lizio, why don't we just start cleaning up some of the old stuff in there? Something we always wanted to do, but never had the time. And she found a folder that said Time Capsule on it, and that's where it began. And we had found an article in that, we found an article, and this is from a newspaper article. I just copied it out, but we actually have the newspaper. And it's from May 12, 2000, and it was in the Sun Chronicle. What was meant to be a lesson on 70s culture, the first Time Capsule, turned into a lesson on erosion. And they dug out the Time Capsule from 76. And as they pulled it out, I'm going to paraphrase, picture a big backhoe pulling out the capsule and all mud and water flowing out of it. So it's kind of destroyed. And a student that came back noted at the time, my advice to the younger generation, which at that time was everyone from the 80s, 90s to 2000, was to put it in plastic. At the time, Mr. Koss said that there were 3 items found in that time capsule that was destroyed by water, the one from 1976. There was a Pez dispenser, you know, the candy, and there was a copy of the Northtown report, which we couldn't recover, and then there was money. This is actually a $2 bill, and the more I touch it, the more it falls apart. But they put it in plastic. Some of you got $2 bills that I was using. And then there was coins. This was a 1976 silver dollar, and then these were from North, and then there was a pack of gum. So from the original Time Capsule, the money was the only thing that we could recover. We could not find the Pez dispenser. Lacoste promised that there would be extra precautions taken, so when we dug it up, we would find some. Also going back, he promised, he said, I'm going to enjoy coming back here. Allison Nolan, who's coming back this morning, the class president, said, I'm going to hope to come back here, I'll enjoy it, I'll be 38 years old. Well, I found her about 2 weeks ago. I actually found her mother online and called her mother, and her mother said right away, I know what this is about. And they had been planning and wondering what had happened to the time capsule. And then Mr. Koss, the former principal, he promised in the newspaper that he'd come back and that he'd be 85 years old. So in August, I called him and I said, I'm going to hold you to a promise you made 25 years ago. And he said, what? I said that you're going to come back. So they plan to come back. So in 2000, we were scared of a thing called Y2K. We thought all the computers that we had around us would stop working because they were only coded 19, 91, 92, what was going to happen because they read the data. And we thought they'd be able to break down. Cell phones were very rare. Social media didn't really exist at all, but they were friendships. It was a great time, actually. And people dreamed and thought what would happen in 25 years. Here's some of the games and gadgets. I want to paraphrase quick. In 2000, they had Game Boy Color. Knowing that had color was a big deal. They had Pokemon, Mario Kart 64. The big thing then was instant messenger and creating CDs. We thought CDs would last forever. They were only around for a blink of an eye, actually. SpongeBob SquarePants and Boy Meets World. That's where kids went home to watch. How many people know Britney Spears? He just released a single, which I did again. People have wide-leg jeans. I actually remember I used to have to yell at kids to keep their pants up. That was the thing. And Harry Potter was coming out, Goosebumps, and Tom Brady was drafted by the New England Patriots. But we had Drew Bledsoe, so we didn't really care about who we got. That was the team. This is the actual thing, one of the things in this video found in the folder, which was this thing that they did this dedication in 2000. So those are the actual papers. And here's a picture of the staff not buried in the time capsule. That was one that we had. Here's a picture of the staff from 2000. And here's their yearbook. And you can see Mr. Koss was there. Secretary Barbara Rossi, Mrs. Rossi, when I came here, she was here. Anyone recognize this person right here? Yeah! Green. Mrs. Sengeloff, are you in the photo? Yeah, Mrs. Sengeloff is here in the photo also. So, and Mrs. Crandall actually, I did find paperwork, I think she was hired, to me, and maybe missed the photo, but Mrs. Crandall. Okay, so moving forward, we had on Earthing Day, because I was terrified of what happened in 1976 with water coming out of it, and I didn't want to do that in front of 600 people. We unearthed it over April vacation. Here's Nick by my True Outdoors, myself and Mr. Goldstein. This marker was buried slightly under the ground, and it was there. There's actually handprints right here. I believe those belong to our old head custodian, Manny, who's coming back this morning also. I'm going to make him put his hands in there and see if it's him. And then this is us digging it up, and it was right by the flagpole all this time. Now, I'm going to try to play these two videos. You can get a sense of what it was like. And then you can see the amount of water. This one is good. It's going to show you how much water was actually in there. There's a lot of water in there. That whole thing is filled with water.
No, what do you think?
So there was a lot of water in there, to say the least. So these pictures might do a little bit better. This is us like pulling it out, kind of like suction down. And then right here, I actually was like having to pull water out of it. It looks like they had a cooler that had a hatch in it, okay? They had a cooler, and it was filled with water, and then inside those plastic bags, they had this thing, which was this plastic Tupperware. And you can see kind of in the back there's those videotapes right here. They had 5 videotapes just submerged in water, and a bunch of artifacts. And that's what the papers look like. They were all covered in mud, literally falling apart. It felt like you were touching mud. We let them dry out for weeks in the closet right over here, and we were kind of able to kind of pry them apart, and inside, almost like cracking a shell, we were able to get these papers out of there. We found the coins, the 1976 coins, Massachusetts State coins, and we're going to put these back in our time capsule here in this bottom bronze. It could be the 76 and 2000 stuff. And there's me and Mr. Goldstein. One of the things they had, okay, these are pictures, photographs, that were all curled up. We broke those up. Here are the coins after we cleaned them. There's Allison Nolan, so she's the class president. And these pictures were of her and the other class officers. Class president, vice president, student gal used to have officers. Here's a couple more pictures. This picture actually is Mr. Kramer. That picture is Mr. Kramer, right there. These were students of the month. We do PBIS now, so instead of back in the day, not too long ago, I used to do it when I was here too, we used to celebrate a few students rarely, like twice a year. Now we try to celebrate many students often with PBIS. So it's a little different, but they would recognize kids who were doing good things, and they would do a student of the month, a student of the semester, and they would do it once in a while, but 10% of the kids. Now we do it all the time, 100%. But all right, here's the old photos of the basketball team. Look at how East our team looks now. So, one thing I did, I think we have more basketball. They only have one basketball in their book. But now we have a lot of basketballs that we don't have. Okay, so one of the things they buried in the time capsule, which we couldn't find, was this thing called Monopoly. It's a board game based on North. I don't know if anyone ever finds it around their house. They might be one of those. So we did find the pieces. Those survived. They were plastic. And again, we had to like squish our fingers through everything. And then the videotape. So on the videotape, I actually reached out to a guy in Hopkinton who restored hours of tape off these. Hours and hours of tape. And of that tape, a lot of it had to do with the community. There was a gentleman down at the gazebo playing Eric Clapton's song on the guitar. I think he was part of it, or he could have just been a random guy. There was a magician, a kid magician at the gazebo. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see that. There was people singing in church. There was a bunch of kids at the JCS sitting on clinics, Santa Claus the Block. But there was one segment of North Middle School, and this is, again, I hope I got my sound from. That says North Middle School Winter Concert.
Oh, that's cool.
Right before the turn of the century.
Wow.
This has been going on for 25 years, and we got to get digital restored. So that's the principal cost. You really can't hear it well, but he's introducing the band, talking about how proud he is. After he's the principal, and he's coming back today, so I did find that video. And I don't know if any former staff members know this. I'll let you hear the band for a minute or two. Back in the day, we used to have a band. Back in the days like last year, but also 25 years ago. The band actually sounded pretty good. I'll let you hear it for the playing.
Think about it. One day, that's what 25 years later, they're going to get
Okay, so that gives you a bit of a flavor of what it was like. So, how you guys just looked at that was kind of like, no musician. I'll show you a magic trick, I'll make it disappear. Okay, so, how you guys just looked at that, I wonder if in 25 years they'll look back at us, all of you, as very strange, and what are they doing? But, so 6 white. So when you put stuff into a time capsule, here's our time capsule. On the time capsule, there's 2 things that we wrote. To the students of tomorrow, may this be a window into our time and a mirror for your dreams. Remember where you came from and dream of where you go. There's another one. I can't read them down here. past is your foundation, the future is your canvas. So you guys will be putting stuff, and we're going to store this. And then this will get bolted and placed in the rotunda. I'm not going to pick one to be the next guy that has something to go up. So we're not going to do that. So we're going to actually have us output bolted and sealed with a combination and lock that I will God with my life. 25 years. Okay, so 6 White is going to deposit some things. I have pictures. If any representatives from 6 White want to come down and tell us a little bit about your stuff. But again, what will they think about all of us?
Rocks are very popular choice for cookware and last minute tools. Give it to the charms that are used to personalize and decorate the rocks.
Okay, so in the future they might not wear Crocs, maybe they wear like a tie. You'll see those. Thank you very much.
Taylor Swift is a phosphorus singer. Her recent 2023-2024 Eras tour was extremely successful and has since coined a popular phrase amongst young people. Her fans are known as Swifties.
I wonder if Taylor Swift, you know how we kind of give up the Britney Spears? I wonder if she did a little bit of thing Taylor Swift did that. So that's a good selection.
Six spring science lesson is series create a new organism by working two different ones together during the annual community and college.
That project's been going on for at least 11 years. I've known ever since I came here. Oh, awesome.
Xbox is a popular video game console created by Microsoft. It is internet-based and offers a variety of games. You can also communicate with your friends through it.
And when they buried the Time Capsule in 76, Atari, in a game called Pong was probably the biggest thing going on. All right, doing good? Excellent job. Thank you, 6 White. So they had a whole binder filled with different things. This was Skippy Tip. If I'm laughing at it now, I can imagine it's pretty scripty. But some of the best stuff and some of the stuff that I hope had survived was really what were kids like. I mean, the whole building is based on kids. That's why we have the building. So really, what were kids like in the year 2000? What were they thinking? And what did they think was important to write down? I gave the picture of the day. So here's the some of the artifacts that they have to put in. So excellent job. Thank you. So
We are creating videos to show what the day was in 6 Purple was like as Norton Middle School 6 Purple students.
My favorite memory so far this year probably is memories in the lunchroom, laughing with my friends that really
Making all my friends that I didn't know before, and all of the stuff we've done in classes and stuff has been really fun.
yeah. Also, I'm a brother, so I'm going to talk a little bit about I'm going to call it a little bit of everything now. McLaren likes to be on the fucking maybe a car called McLaren W1 that hasn't gone quite to production just yet. I think how it's a successor. Inspired also currently on that one. Ferrari, they called the F8, which is like another successor in the lot. So yeah, and yeah, that's about it.
Joe Biden.
We're excited to go to Six Flags in June. That's all we love about Sunday.
Okay, in our 2005,
Okay, so those are just samples. Everything that they put on the disc is going to go in the time capsule. So if you made some of these, 25 minutes from now, you can sit down and watch this and think, I can't do it. I wonder what I do with it. My favorite video, I'm not going to play because it was long, and I watched a lot of them, was Daphne and Lucy. Because Daphne called me up, she said, yeah, we used to be able to use my headphones until the principal told us we can't anymore. They're both athletes, they both do different things around the school. So, I mean, I think it's just kind of a good picture of kids in 2025. Okay, so some of the other stuff that people put in, so these teams aren't here right now, so I'll tell you a little bit about it. We have a signed strip from the cast of Annie. So it's there. Our grade 8 dinner dance, which is a big event that you get at the end of 8th grade, a 3D printed turtle, and some samples of work that they've done are amongst the things that our wife is depositing. In purple, they just put a sample of what interviews were like. Some pictures also, just like said in white. Here's teams doing archery, a sample of the bus pass, school ID from Jackson Hill, and then some class photos. 7 purple, they have a lot of their time, and I know this happens in this honors class too. They put some of these up there, really colorful, a picture of the staff, stuff from our best day ever, lots of photos and pictures, and some sample student work amongst their other things. And then specials, I have specials here. We have different objects going up. The ones that we pictured here, this is a cell phone thing from the Woodworking Club. Yeah, there you go. Again, showing how much pride we took in our servicemen and women. These were done on Memorial Day. This is a unit that the specials did on the Olympics during an Olympic year. course, some glow-in-the-dark stuff from the blacklight dance and things like that. All of our spirit week with soup out and things like that down the special wing. And one of the main things that people will see when they look back on us is how much we like Halloween. It's like, anyone, if Halloween doesn't remain popular, they're going to be like, wow, these people were really into that. Strange. So all the different Halloween costumes. And from the administration, we have, we also have, where did these come from? I don't know.
Oh, those are from
Mrs. Simonson, our art teacher, before Mrs. Boston. So we're going to actually have some good physical objects for them to open up. Administration put in a Lancer League t-shirt. We're putting in some stuff that definitely still impacted us, or all of us in our memories of school. Some vintage COVID-19 tests, which will seem very strange to them. They can read that in the history books, so masks. A class of 2021 shirt, which at the time, so they realized how much of an impact, we actually put a mask on the end. Good, you see that? And our PBIS posters, much like they had that, we put some PBIS stuff, and they can be, I mean, they might think it's strange, some of the stuff we did, whether it's close your Chromebook down and things like that. When I first came, I never would imagine that we would dismantle mosquito nets. Because I never imagined that we handled all Chromebooks. And our hallway expectations for walking around the building. So those are some of the items that we put in there. And then next week, we're going to be going to New York City. And these are pictures from our trip last year to New York City. And Peter went in 2001, so we're putting in some of our photos that we took in New York City with kids in our annual field trip. And of course, we have our own staff photo from last year. We're going to add this year's staff photo with the team, so they'll know who all of our teachers are. In addition, and if any of you want to do this, because I will have one more opportunity if you bring it in on Monday, because we have to bolt. Again, we're bolting this into the wall in the rotunda. Here's a sheet, students. So I ask students to predict the future. I started with student health, then moved to 8th grade, and we still have room. So as you read, there's a chair up there, and it has questions. They're very easy, multiple choice. You can put your name on it, and for instance, ask, in 2050, smartphones will probably be replaced by A, mind control devices, B, smart glasses that handle all your calls, typewriters or other. And then it asks questions on the back. How many championships will each of our teams win, Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics, in the next 25 years? Who will be president of the United States? On this one, it says Taylor Swift.
That's probably true.
Which teachers will still be working at middle school in 2050? So if you want to have your predictions to be put into the time capsule, you can take one of those sheets, or your teachers will get it to you. If you get it to me by Monday, your predictions for 25 years in the